Persona 5 Royal is overrated. It's definitely a sentence that has been said more than once and expressed in many different ways when it comes to video game discourse. But of course, you have to ask the following question: what makes Persona really overrated? But firstly, let's briefly define the word overrated and actually use this in terms of the context of Persona 5. And if you look at Merriam-Webster's dictionary for that word, it says that something is considered to be valued highly. Like, for example, this jewel is overrated. It is over the initial rate that it's supposed to be. And in the case of Persona 5, you can definitely argue that in some cases there are a level of high value that this game offers, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's overrated. For example, the gameplay is one aspect as to why a lot of people have the tendency to call Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal overrated, and it's partially due to the animation and the art style being the key component to how the typical JRPG, turn-based combat works. And Persona 5 is very stylish. The aesthetics truly shine the most in terms of what is essentially a bare bones JRPG gameplay, but it also does a lot in adding some unique elements to make it stand out the most from that of Soul Hackers or that of Shin Megami Tensei, and even that of course of other games such as Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest. So there are a lot of key elements that makes Persona 5 overrated in terms of its value, but not so much overrated in terms of how people perceive it as. If you kind of get what I mean here. Basically, the sentence of Persona 5 Royal is overrated is not entirely wrong, but it's not entirely right either. It's just a matter of choosing the right perspective and the right level of criticism. Simply by saying that people like this game a lot, therefore it is overrated, doesn't necessarily mean that it's overrated. Again, to go back to the actual definition of overrated, stating that it is something that is of a high value, Persona 5 definitely is overrated in that aspect. It has a lot to offer, it has a lot of gameplay components that makes it stand out the most, and it is valued at a reasonably level in terms of its perception and in terms of how the game sort of tries to present a JRPG experience while also being casual and bringing in newcomers for those that have never really experienced a JRPG game before. And that alone makes its value go up and being that overrated as stated before. But at the end of the day, the perception is what matters, and I do hope by allowing this second definition of the term overrated being presented among the video game discourse, I hope it does allow a different perspective, a different point of view in terms of how to actually approach Persona 5. Yes, I understand Persona 5 is notoriously known as the one JRPG that a lot of people love to kind of poke some holes into what is considered a very good JRPG experience, but that is something for an entirely different day. Point is, Persona 5 is indeed overrated, but not in terms of how we think it is considered to be overrated. That all being said, now I hope you all have a fantastic day today. If you enjoyed today's video on Persona 5 and want to see more content moving forward, then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as hit that bell to get notified for future content moving forward. Thank you guys for the support as always. Stay safe, awesome, and sexy. Know that I love you forever and always to 120, and I'll see you all with that next one, alright? So, take care now!